I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I've got to talk about it, and that's just, it is what it is. I might be separating from my partner. I also have fallen in love with somebody else while being in love with my partner. However, that is not the reason that we might be separating. Full disclosure, just because my partner is aware of this doesn't mean that I didn't up. I did up. A lot of that's happening right now is because of my ups, but I want to be completely honest about it. I have to be in order for this to mean something to help anybody else.
In other words, she found a man that was more physically attractive than her husband, and she wants him to meet her physical needs while having the current guy cover her rent and living costs. That's not love, that's just using men as commodities. Modern women are just completely destroying themselves, and we have a front row seat. Let's jump right into it.
The reason that we might be separating is because I've discovered that I am polyamorous and my partner might not be. We have been in an ethically non-monogamous relationship for the last year. We both have been exploring our sexuality, and I won't speak on his behalf, but for me, I realized that I am not interested in randomly hooking up with people and then that being it. I'm not interested in having like a friends with benefits. I discovered that I'm interested in connecting with people in a romantic way.
Ethical non-monogamy makes no sense whatsoever. It just sounds like a fancy way of demanding hall passes to sleep around without the punishment of losing the place where you're currently living. It's one of the dumbest things you could ever do in a relationship.
Perhaps is as another partner, but as a separate partner, or even as a kind of non-labeled situation where there is love and there is connection, and not necessarily an involvement in my everyday life, but the access to that love and the possibility of that love and the presence of that love is there. This is something that my partner and I are working through right now.
There's nothing to work through. It's obvious that they just want to have bedroom fun with other people, and if that's what they want to do, then that's on them. But they shouldn't be together if they're going to do that. It's just a recipe for disaster.
I don't know which way it's going to go. I don't know how it's going to end, but I wanted to bring it to the internet because what better place to bring such a judge-worthy topic to. Just full disclosure, like, he is fully aware of what is happening. We're having conversations about it. We've been going to a marriage counselor, psychologist for a while. What ultimately comes down to is that you can't force somebody to be polyamorous. You can't force somebody to be non-monogamous. It's just a part of who you are. Because I got married, well, I got with him when I was 18 and he was 25. The age discrepancy there means that as I get older, I'm going to go through changes, which he's been a wonderful supporter of.
It's interesting how women like this will talk about how strong, independent, and intelligent they are, but then turn around and say that their brains aren't developed until they're 25. They have to pick one lane and stick with it. This young and stupid argument is getting pretty old.
He's been a great supporter of my career as an entrepreneur, as an artist, as somebody who's more than just a mother, to have my own friends, my own life. And in many, many ways, he's the partner that people would wish for. He is the partner that I would wish for and that I do want to keep. I don't want to lose him as a partner. Ultimately, it comes down to, as I've gotten older, I'm going to be 29 next month, I have discovered this part of myself, and it almost feels like a non-negotiable to be who I am.
She's acting like this is somehow a stunning revelation, but it is not. She is married and wants a hall pass to sleep with other men without losing her husband. That's not a self-discovery. That's just wanting to show no respect to your husband or your family.
I don't want to lose my partner over it. I love my partner in almost all ways. He's the perfect partner, but nobody is perfect. Obviously, there's always room for connection, and that's, you know, when you have friends, if you have more than one friend, does that mean that you don't love your other friend enough and that's why you need more friends? I love my partner enough to build a form of a happy life.
The difference between a husband and having multiple friends is that you don't swear a lifelong and legally binding vow of loyalty to your friends. That, and you're supposed to stick with that man through thick and thin, not run into another man's arms just because he's attractive.
I also love myself enough to be in this position where I'm trying to decide if that is enough. We only get one life. I'm like literally breaking out in hives. We only get one life, and I'm trying to navigate how to handle this in a way that doesn't ask him to change who he is, because I would never ask that. Again, you can't force somebody to be polyamorous. You can't force yourself to be polyamorous. but ultimately it's like denying your heart, your sexuality even.
She's acting like her being quote unquote poly is the same thing as men and women coming out of the closet. That's not the case. She's making this sound insanely dramatic in hopes of getting internet support to justify her disloyalty to her boyfriend. It really is that simple.
In my opinion, to be put in this position and decide, can I live without this? And that's what I'm trying to navigate right now. Again, I love my partner. I don't want to lose my partner. But along with this process and this journey, that is a consequence, a potential consequence of what might happen. And I know people are going to judge me for that because I do have a beautiful family. I do have a beautiful relationship. I have so many things that I'm so lucky to have, and I feel lucky, and that it might seem that I take for granted. But I don't know if it's enough for me if my partner can't live his full happiness. I'm going to make this a series. If you have any questions that I should start out with, even if it's judgment or judgy questions, let me know. I'm ready to talk about it because I'm tired of keeping it in, I guess.
If she is desperate enough to want to jump into another man's bed, then she doesn't love her husband. She doesn't love her family. She is incredibly selfish, and she wants to focus her wants and pleasures over the needs of her actual family.
A boy friend zoned me, but I'm a little upset about it because I met him. I was like, oh, he's funny, he's cool. I just want to be his friend. Right? So we are barely texting like friends, okay? And I think he thinks I'm flirting with him or something because then he texts me and he's like, yeah, for sure, bro. Bro, me? Bro, you. I was gonna friend zone you. Now I'm just embarrassed. Now I'm embarrassed because he's like, friend zoned her. I was gonna do that.
She just proved that the friend zone is not a place of genuine emotion. It's just a place to humiliate and use men. That's why she is so furious that the guy friend zoned her. She wanted to hurt the man, not actually be his friend.
So I got friend zoned. Tonight I finally got the courage to ask one of my guy friends out and admit my feelings for him. And I asked him to be my boyfriend, and he said no. He did not feel the same way for me, and he said that he just wanted to be friends. I have been crying all night, and I feel like I ruined our friendship because I admitted my feelings for him.
If that man had any interest in having her as his girlfriend, he would have asked her out. He would have made his intentions known, but he clearly wasn't interested. But naturally, she has to be heartbroken over the fact that that man clearly didn't want to know her.
And when we hung out, I thought we had a connection and there were sparks, and I guess I misread the whole thing. It sucks when someone doesn't feel the same way about you. I wish I didn't admit to him that I wanted a relationship because I feel like I embarrassed myself.
Men are forced to go through all of this in silence. If a man tells a female friend, quote unquote, that he likes her, she reserves the right to get offended and shame him. But when the tables are turned, it's heartbreaking for her and people need to be nice to her. The double standard is just unreal.
I liked this guy. I was really feeling him, and we became friends. We started becoming like really, really close friends, like best friends, right? And I was like, okay.
Like best friends?
Yes.
Wait, what were you guys doing?
Like we were hanging out all the time, but like a friend group more, like me, him, and this other guy, and then one of my other friends. So like a little friend group, because I was like, hey, I'm like getting in. But listen, but also, this is when I'm like 17, so.
Oh, like
also,
3 years ago.
Yeah, 17 years old,
go
maybe
ahead.
16. Anyway, so I think he's feeling me. He was giving off that vibe of like, okay, I think we both are like flirty friends. I think we are on the same vibe.
There was only a vibe because she assumed there was one. When we consider the types of men that these women talk to, that's not an average man she's talking about. If this guy wanted something more, he would have asked her out. She just assumed otherwise.
So then I told him, I went ahead and told him, I'm like, hey, blah, 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 I really like you, I'm going to be honest. And he did not feel the same way. And that was so embarrassing. It was so awkward. We were at an amusement park and he was like,
amusement park? Why was this the time?
I don't know. I felt called. Like he gave me some type of signal that I was like, okay, you know what? This is my time to tell him. Nope, it wasn't. It was so embarrassing. And now he literally just got married. I just saw on Instagram yesterday. But I'm so happy because we're still friends. But the thing is I'm like, well, you know what? of like he's still my friend to this day, and 2 of obviously I wasn't his girl because I was not ready to get married right now. So seeing him married,
Fair.
I'm like, we're not even going after the same thing. So
Right.
it wasn't meant to be. I'm happy. We're just friends.
Once again, we are seeing that when she gets rejected, it's sympathetic. She was hurt and embarrassed, but still felt the need to stalk him on social media and be a bit bitter that he was able to find a wife while she is still obviously single.
Okay, if you were that person who always likes someone who doesn't like you back, or you're always chasing someone for God knows what reason, this is the video for you. Story time! Okay, so all through elementary school and all through high school, I liked the same guy. Everyone knew that I liked this guy. Okay, I liked him for 10 years. I'm only 18, and 10 years of my life on planet Earth were spent liking this guy. And I got with him. I did eventually get with him. And as soon as I got with him, I didn't want him. It was literally like kissing my brother.
That's because this woman only wanted him because she couldn't have him. That's how these women operate. They want something, but the second they get it, they get bored with it, and then they want something new. She didn't see a man, just an object to possess, that's all.
So, let me break this down for you. The chase? It's fun. Don't get me wrong, it is fun. However, you are constantly chasing someone who doesn't want you back because in reality, you don't even want a relationship. You don't. You chasing someone all the time is the way that you cope with being single. Chasing them and wanting to be with someone who doesn't want you back is almost an excuse to deal with your singleness. A hard pill to swallow, but please don't invest 10 years of your life into someone you don't even want.
These are the same women who will go on and on about how men love the chase and about how men are supposed to chase women, but in that one statement, she just proved who really loves the chase and why men don't bother with that garbage. But anyway, guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out. Click this video that's up on the screen now if you want to see more. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.